Welcome back to Breakdown, JJ. March 2nd, 2026.
March is here,
Yeah, the eyes of March. Uh, we're
or
doing.
or as they like to call it in East Lansing, Izzo is the name of the month, right?
Oh,
Mm.
okay. Well, JJ, we always do SEC Big Ten. We're going to do SEC Big Ten. Football season is over, but the combine is kicking. Basketball is getting down close to conference champions. Should we start off with basketball or football?
You know, I think we should end it with basketball. It is March. I
Okay.
mean, it's only right. So we'll have the intro be about football. We'll talk about the combine down there in Indianapolis.
Let's take it off, man. JJ, let's go by the numbers first.
Yes, sir.
I want to do the numbers. Combine participants. The Big Ten, last year they had 82 participants.
Okay, not bad.
This year they have 83.
Hey,
Getting better.
getting better. Increase.
SEC, last year they had 105 participants at the combine.
Slightly more than the Big Ten.
This year they have 115.
Now that is an incremental increase.
If you had to guess, JJ, who would you say, what Big Ten team had the most invitees?
What Big Ten team had the most invitees to the combine? Well, it can't be that school down south there that they were talking about all the players from, getting rave reports. Sonny Styles, a linebacker from Ohio State. His brother Lorenzo Styles ran the fastest 40 for a safety out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I'm sure everyone knows it's the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Ohio State, year in and year out, it's Ohio State with the most invitees, the most drafted to. JJ,
They added Oregon and USC, so there is some thought that one of these days that they might compete with Ohio State.
you forgot to add UCLA and Washington.
Yeah, those are also schools in the Big Ten.
That's right.
Just
That's right.
same as Maryland and Rutgers. Those are also schools in the Big Ten. Well, I don't want to disrespect Washington like that. They are actually a legit school. But
The SEC, JJ, they had 5 teams with double-digit invitees, where the Big Ten had one. That was Ohio State with 11.
yeah,
Texas A&M led the way with 13.
yeah, that sounds like Texas A&M. I mean, they produce pros. They definitely have workout warriors. Miles Garrett and the like. Mike Evans and stuff like that. What they don't do is advance to
Yeah.
in the playoffs. But maybe that's next year.
Alabama had 12. LSU had.
Now Alabama had 12. That's something because people always talked about like the drain after Nick Saban left, that all this talent went down the drain,
They still had 12 invitees to the combine.
and they still haven't made it out. They haven't won one playoff game yet.
No.
I mean, well, no, they did win one.
Beat Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. They beat Oklahoma at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So they have one, but not against a real legit threat. But yeah, I mean, honestly, that did surprise me that they had that many invitees, just because I'd heard the rumors of Alabama's demise had been much talked about. So
Yeah.
they had the second most amount of invitees, more than Ohio State.
Well, LSU fired their coach midseason. They had 11. And Georgia and Oklahoma both had 10.
Yeah.
The Fighting Razorbacks, JJ, they had 6. The mighty Fighting Razorbacks.
That's not that bad. I mean, for a team that didn't win a single game in conference, I mean, that's right there in the middle of the pack.
JJ, has there ever in the history of college football been a better 2-10 team than the Arkansas Razorbacks were last year?
I don't make it a habit of watching 2-10 teams, honestly. Unfortunately, I'd have to say Arkansas was the best 2-10 team I'd seen. Up until their last 2 games, they had a positive point differential. And all other games except for one, except for the Notre Dame game, we don't got to talk about that one. They lost. It was a single digit point difference that they lost. So, I mean, they had a lot of talent. They just obviously couldn't shut the door. Couldn't get the job done when it really mattered.
JJ, tell me about the speed at the combine.
I mean, that's where Arkansas really came through. I mean, their Spark program, their strength conditioning. I mean, that really showed out. The fastest running back at the combine was the transfer from Buffalo.
Via New Mexico.
Mike Washington,
Yeah.
Jr. He was in tears of joy. He was so happy with his performance, as he should be. 4-3-3 is something.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, you're moving. You're moving when you're doing that. I'm actually, I mean, the Bengals don't. We have a lot of things that we need, but now after that, he's definitely on my radar. So I mean, I was really happy for him. I mean, he definitely, I think he might have, changed his family's life with that performance.
Arkansas had another speedy guy at the combine.
I think it was the fastest quarterback ever.
No, Mike Vick had to be ever.
Did Mike Vick didn't run? Did he?
I don't know.
I know Lamar Jackson did not run.
Okay.
I'm 100. I know Mike Vick didn't run. I know for a fact he did not run.
So what was Taylor's time, Mr. Green?
It was a 4.37.
4.37. That's moving.
That is moving.
That's moving.
It was so fast he didn't run the second. He didn't run a second time. They normally run two. Just there's an opportunity to improve upon your time, but there was literally no need for him to do that. So he closed up shop after that. He ran a 4.37. I think that was faster than any of the wide receivers ran.
With all of that speed, JJ, I still can't get over it. 2-10? Am I dreaming? That was a nightmare. But let's move on. JJ, what about speed in general at the combine?
Yeah, it was a fast day in Indianapolis. It was the fastest aggregate times for the skill position players for every position group except for the quarterback. Ironically enough, that was the one position where they came in second. It was the second fastest time for a group of quarterbacks ever at Indianapolis for a combine. But for the running backs, it was the fastest ever. Same thing for the other skill position players.
So are you telling me, JJ, the skill players are getting faster?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's evolution in real time. Maybe we're witnessing it. Or maybe we're witnessing agents doing a better job of not exposing their clients to anything that would,
They don't run if they can't make an impression.
You can't be accused of being slow if you don't run.
Yes, you can.
That's true. Well, you can't be proven. You can be accused, but you can't be proven.
That's true.
So it's like getting pulled over and for a DUI and just not taking the refusing the breathalyzer. It's like I don't want that on my record. That's what a lot of these guys are doing now if they don't think that they're gonna run fast. Okay. But you have that to me just makes me give so much more credit to guys like Carnell Tate who did run.
Yeah.
He did not run great. Don't get me wrong.
It was Ohio State's quarterback.
Wide receiver.
Oh, I'm sorry. Gosh.
Wide receiver from Ohio State. A lot of people think he'll be the number one receiver taken off the board. I've seen him as high as 3, mocked to 3. So, yeah. I don't think him not running well will be too big of a hindrance on him. Marvin Harrison Jr. isn't the fastest guy. He hasn't had the best start to his career. He didn't run at the combine because of speed concerns, but they're just very different receivers, and I don't think that Marvin Harrison Jr.'s lack of success so far will hinder Carnell Tate, which you wouldn't think it would, because even though they're the only thing that they have in common is they both go to Ohio State, and they don't run the fastest time. But other than that, they're very different receivers. They win differently. Marvin Harrison is more line of scrimmage, whereas Carnell Tate is more like point of attack, deep ball. So, I am glad to see that, because a lot of times you'll just see like a association. Oh, this position went to this school. They'll just generalize and categorize them all and I don't like that. That's that herd mentality thing. That's one of my least favorite things about the combine.
JJ, what positions at the combine can benefit most from the combine? Is it the quarterback position, the receiver position? I'm thinking the offensive line doesn't benefit that much. I think the film is going to do a lot. But what position do you think is going to have the most benefit?
I think you can help yourself and hurt yourself the most. When you're either a wide receiver, tight end, or a cornerback, safety. I think those are the positions that you can do the most.
I agree.
Because you have to just the measurable athleticism that is on display for the combine is most applicable for those positions. You run 40 yards. When you're a cornerback, you run 40 yards multiple times a game down the field. Same thing with the wide receiver. You're not doing that as a lineman. Most running backs, most plays, it's really good plays when you do run 40 yards down there, but It doesn't happen that much. Wide receivers will run 40 yards down the field, and the play will have lost 2 yards. So
I got
you just have to do that so frequently. It's just,
and the DB has to cover them.
and they have to be right with them. So I think that is the scenario in which you can see the most improvement.
JJ, what else about the combine that you like to talk about? Any particular players? I mean, you already touched on a few. Any particular schools? I mean, we mentioned Ohio State, Arkansas.
Yeah, no, I would just say Ohio State was the obvious big winner, but Arkansas, I think, was the big winner for the SEC. I don't think too many people were talking about Mike Washington or Taylor Green going into the combine, and that they were the talk of the town coming out. So I think they were the big winner. So it's good to see some Razorbacks showing out for the crimson and white.
Okay, JJ, you know what? I don't have the two teams right now, but there were two schools in the Big Ten who got no one invited. Northwestern was one.
Ooh, no one invited for Northwestern.
No, and there was one other. The SEC.
It was at Purdue.
I think it was.
Because Purdue was terrible. So I would guess it was.
Purdue and Northwestern had no invitees. The SEC all had one, even though Mississippi State only had one.
Hey, one is all you need.
Yeah, the SEC all had at least one. JJ, can we go to basketball?
Yeah, let's go to basketball. It's March. It's in the air. Tis the season.
There's good news and bad news.
Yeah, there's good news and bad news.
Let's get the good news and bad news for Michigan first.
Michigan. Good news and bad news. Good news, they clinched the Big Ten, not just the share, but the outright Big Ten.
Regular season.
So
yep.
They could pack it in from here on out if they want to.
So they get the number one seed at the conference tournament,
They
no
do.
matter from here on out. What's the bad news?
Fortunately for them, their backup point guard, LJ Cason, sophomore, he tore his ACL, so he'll be out for the rest of the year.
He was a contributing player for the Wolverines. How well was he doing?
He was doing pretty well. I mean, I think he averaged like 9 points, 8.4 points per game, which is 1.5 points less than their starter. And, he played over 18 minutes a game. So, he was a very valuable member to the team. And, he could create his own shot. He could create for himself. He could get to the rim. He could also create for others. Elliot Cadeau had a horrific shooting night against Duke. He missed his first 9 shots from the field. And Elliot Cadeau is liable to do things like that. That's why LJ Cason is so important because, he's made so many strides. The junior transfer from North Carolina, Cadeau has, when it comes to his three-point shot, it's legitimate. You have to respect it now. But he still has nights where he can go ice cold, as we saw against the Duke game. In those nights, LJ Cason, I was yelling at the TV screen. He needs to play more. They need more time for LJ Cason, and now they don't have that opportunity. It's a similar situation to Michigan State.
What's Michigan State's situation?
They lost their backup point guard, who's actually the best 3-point shooter on the team. He was shooting 44% from 3, number 99, Divine, and we don't pronounce his last name.
And he's been gone for about 4 games already.
So that is the good thing. Michigan State has the opportunity to give their new backup, the guy who went from third string to backup, give him some opportunity for some reps. And Michigan will have to do the same because they outright clinched the Big Ten. They won't need to necessarily it won't be the same pressure to win these games. So they're gonna have to make sure that their backup. I mean, I assume they're gonna move the freshman shooting guard over to play some point, and I assume they're gonna do a little bit of point guard by committee. It's not just gonna be third string going to the backup, but they're gonna need to practice when Ellie Cadeau's out of the game.
How big of a setback is this for Michigan? I mean,
it's the type of setback that could keep them from winning the national championship. I mean, it's a huge setback. He's one of the 7 best players. He's a really good contributor.
So we agree that it's going to definitely impact their chances of winning it all this year.
Yeah, I mean, they still could. It's still possible.
True.
But I think if they don't win it all, specifically how close they get. If they lose in the first round, that might be one thing. But if they don't win it all, I think they're gonna be thinking, what if, especially if Elliot Cadeau has a bad game.
Okay. Speaking of the Big Ten, JJ,
Yeah.
is Ohio State in the tournament? They beat a pretty good team this past week.
Yeah, they beat the preseason #1 team in the country, Purdue. Purdue's
Sliding.
yeah, they are on a slide, but even for they still have 20, 24 wins. I mean, they're still a good team. They're still a top 3 seed.
Oh yeah,
They'll get that. So they're not where they're supposed to have been, but they're still a quality team. And Ohio State getting that quality win at home was huge for them. Put them on the right side of the bubble.
For now.
But I mean, that gives them some breathing room. It really gives them the opportunity to take a step back and they got a quad 1 win. They can relax. They can decompress a little bit, which is more than can be said for some other schools in the Big Ten.
JJ, let's talk about one other Big Ten school before we go south, and talk about USC. They are a Big Ten school, right?
Yeah.
They're not a Pac-12 school anymore.
Yeah.
So what's going on at USC?
Well, their leading scorer is no longer with the team.
Man, what kind of injury did he get?
Well, so that's interesting. Yeah, they were playing a game against Nebraska, and it was a home game at USC. Nebraska won that game. He blocked the shot of somebody and fell, and went to the bench and didn't come back in for the rest of the game. The curious part about it is when he went to the bench, he was sitting just off from where the rest of the team was sitting. He's sitting in the actual seat with
Wow.
He was one seat away from the bench where the guys were. So but it was still technically a seat that a patron would buy and not a team member would sit in. So that was the first curious thing. And then after the game, they asked head coach, former Razorback head coach
Musselman.
Eric Musselman about the stats of Chad Baker-Mazara and if he was healthy and what his stats was, and Musselman said that Baker said that he couldn't go. He didn't say that Baker couldn't go. He said that Baker said that he couldn't go, which is an interesting choice of words.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
It just makes you wonder why he articulated that like that.
And then the next day, he's not on the team.
And then the next day, he is not on the team, and he will not be on the team. He's a 26-year-old. This is his 7th year of college basketball. He's a very mercurial player. He went from Duquesne to San Diego State to Auburn to USC. And he's a very talented player. Auburn's second Final Four. He was, a starter on that team. He was leading scorer for USC. But from a 26-year-old, you just expect a little bit more maturity and responsibility and accountability.
Well, JJ, let's go south.
Okay.
SEC. Name me all the teams in the SEC who have a legitimate chance of winning it all this year.
All the teams in the SEC with a legitimate chance to win it all. Legitimate chance to win it all. Legitimate.
I can name them for you. If you
man. Unfortunately, I would like there to be plural teams. But I unfortunately think that there might only be one. I think that might be the Florida Gators.
Okay. It took you a long time to get there. I could have gotten there, JJ, in half a second.
Hey, there's a lot. I mean,
how good is Florida?
They're pretty good. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. Ever since January 1st, they have the highest rankings of Evan Mia for advanced statistics for DVOA. Or not for DVOA, but for that's a football stat. I'm trying to think of what it's called for basketball, but I can't remember what it's called. But they have the highest rated analytics since January 1st. Boogie Fland has not been great, but he has been more judicious in his shot selection. He doesn't take as many threes. And Xavier Lee has been like pretty dynamic. He was like, I mean, no one really in Arkansas. I mean, they lost by damn near 40 against
Arkansas lost.
Yeah, Arkansas lost by almost 40 at Florida. No one can say it in front of Xavier Lee. Yeah, like their backcourt is really starting to play. I mean, defensively, Xavier Lee and Boogie Flan have always brought it, but offensively, they're starting to make shots. They're starting to make threes, and everyone except for Flan is starting to make threes. And with that front court, I mean, being what it is, it's just
that's what I want to get to. Their front court. Is there a better front court in the game right now?
Yeah, Michigan.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. In Duke is probably
in Arizona. All four of them got great, and even Houston.
Yeah, but no, Michigan's is the best in the country, though.
I would beg to differ on that one. But
okay.
But you know.
But yeah, after Michigan, I would put them on the same tier as Arizona, Florida, or
Duke.
In Duke. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, I like Florida's front court tremendously. I think they're playing better. They're like a 9-game winning streak right now?
Yeah, they're on a 9-game winning streak.
Yeah. I don't know.
But they're playing against us.
But it is March. The madness is just beginning to surface, JJ. It's just beginning to surface. It's going to start bubbling over in a week, 10, 15 more days from now. And then we're really going to get it serious. But until then, JJ, did we leave anything out before we get out of Dodge?
No, I think we covered everything that we needed to cover.
Okay, well, I'm going to get out of here. But before I do, I got 3 letters to say to you, JJ.
What could those possibly be?
W, P.S. Woo Pig Suey.
Detroit basketball.
We out of here.